Hello, beautiful ones. Dr. Nikki here. So I thought I would come on and do a small series about new paradigm energy. You know, things that are coming to light at this time because we are holding a higher frequency as a collective. It's becoming clear that some of the old ways that we used to work with energy are no longer as relevant as they used to be. And so it doesn't mean that they're wrong in any way. It just means that because everything has changed so much, even in the last few decades, that the way that we use information and we work with energy is quite a little bit different in different ways. And so what I'm going to do is share some of these key things that that I've noticed over the last few years, and more of the information that is coming through to be shared. And so for this video, I wanted to talk about fortune telling. So reading the future and the difference between that and some of that psychic work, and the difference in intuitive guidance work. And so as an intuitive guide, when we work, we tend to read what is in people's field currently, and that a lot of the time is stuff that's still held from the past. And so working with that information, we then do different processes and transformations to help to clear that energy from people's coding, clear that from people's energy fields so that they can ultimately hold more light and experience their world differently. I know there's probably a lot of different ways that it can be done as well. But just what I wanted to bring to awareness is that when people are getting readings and their future is being predicted as such, how that is done, because the future is not predestined. The future holds many potential timelines. And depending on choices we are making constantly will determine what the outcomes become. And so when people are getting future readings, what happens is the reader is able to access the most dominant potentials at that point in time. And that does not mean that it has to play out. What it means is that energy is drawing more and magnetizing particular potentials more than others in any particular moment. It by no means means that that is exactly what is going to happen. And so the problem with doing that is that if we are told something is right or wrong to do with our lives, or something is going to happen, we become so fixated on it in our minds that we bring it into being, because we are feeding so much energy into that thought form that we are creating that potential into actualization. And so just to be aware, I really felt called to share that with you as one of the points. So if you do have a reading that tells you a bit about the future, be aware that you are 100% in control, and you can take steps to avoid whatever potential may be within your field at that particular time. So there is nothing predestined. So I just felt called to share that, because I know sometimes people are told particular things and then they're freaking out because they think, their marriage is going to break up. And, whereas rather using that information to then actively take steps to create change within that relationship could save that relationship if that is really what is in the heart's desire. And, you are ultimately in control of your whole life because of the decisions you make in every moment. And, it's like genetic tendencies. Just because we have a lineage of, heart disease in our family line, it doesn't mean that we need to get heart disease. And, what that information shares with us is to allow us to be able to make better choices to avoid these outcomes that we don't really want to have. So do reach out if there is anything that you would like to share with me at any time. I'm always happy to have a chat. I hope you found that useful anyway, and stay tuned for more little tips. in this series. Mwah, bye.